Per year, 1.3 billion tons of food is wasted.
That's quite a lot of food that is just being thrown out. So Eve and I initially met, it was a couple years ago when we were in university, the University of Guelph, and we were both part of this plant-based organization run by students. It was just a club on campus. We would attend meetings, so we would see each other here and there on campus at the meetings, and a lot of dinner parties too. And yeah, it was just a nice community to meet like-minded people. But we weren't super close. And when I graduated university, I wanted to grow this business and this idea. I just needed a little more support. So I reached out on Facebook on a local group and was just asking if anyone would be interested in food waste, in creating a business with me. And Eva saw the message and messaged back right away. Yeah. And the rest is history. So.
Everything in her message was everything I was interested in helping with and pursuing. It was plant-based, sustainable, low-waste cooking, and I was like, hell yeah.
So the name Bruized came about, I think when we first initially started this project, we were trying to think of something catchy. We started off with Bruised Bar. Then we didn't want to give the idea that it was some sort of like fist fighting, alcoholic bar. And it eventually just morphed into Bruised. I think it was shorter, simple, and also has a little more character with the misspelling of the Z. And now I just spell bruise with a Z all the time. So yeah. That's how it came to be. My background in food all started, I guess, as a kid, if you really want to root down to it. I was exposed to a lot of different cultures. My mom grew up in India, so I got to expose my palate to a lot of spices. Asian cuisine too itself has a lot of stuff going on, and I was just that chubby kid that really loved to chow down on anything that was put in front of me. So that was kind of my background as a kid. And then growing up, I recently transitioned into a more plant-based lifestyle, got interested in health in the last couple years. And even just living away from home in university, that really was a challenge that pushed me to fend for myself and start cooking more, experimenting with different things that I had, even on a budget too, as a student. It's definitely tricky to work around that. But I would also splurge a little and go to the local market and try new local products. And then I eventually just started a food blog for my own fun on Instagram, just to share different recipes that I would make and to ideally inspire other people. And yeah, I also, from this, I guess, have gained interest in food, and a lot of my jobs have been as a line cook in different restaurants, and that gave me that experience of, making food in a more professional way. And yeah, from that, I just kind of would play around at home, experiment more, and build my skills by self-teaching myself.
And my background in food definitely started in university, and that was also around the same time I started to become a lot more interested in plant-based. I was already vegetarian, but I switched to being vegan. That was pretty much definitely where I learned to cook more. I was fending for myself, living on my own, and also keeping to a pretty strict budget. So that allowed me to be pretty creative and learn a bunch of new recipes. So Bruised makes a variety of different food items. We kind of go with the flow with what we create, mostly on a weekly basis. The food that we use is not always constant in what it is. So As of now, our main products are a pulp crunch, which upcycles juice pulp from a local juice bar. And we dehydrate it with oats and seeds and fruit to create a granola like breakfast. We also have a product called the Non-Bomb, which is like an energy ball, which uses imperfect apples that normally aren't sold at retail levels. And it's also rolled in an upcycled juice pulp coconut confetti. We also have an item called Toasties, which we partnered with the company Spent Goods, and they make sourdough bread using spent barley grains from microbreweries in Toronto. And we make an open-faced sandwich with a tofu ricotta style dairy-free cheese and an apple chutney using imperfect apples, or a pesto using rescued greens from local farms and retailers. So although food waste is one of the main issues that our business is all about, we don't want that to be the only element of it. We really want to encourage our customers to think about waste in general, and that ties into our packaging. So currently we, as much as we can, are using upcycled materials to package all of our products and to serve our products in. We use mason jars that are recyclable and reusable, and we also offer a bulk option for some of our items so people can bring their own containers and use what they already have rather than creating more of items in general.
Yeah, and we both got into sewing, so we tried our hand at making some reusable napkins from upcycled thrifted materials and also produce bags. And just to, again, tying on the issue of not using raw materials to create something new, but just using what is already out there to create something that people can continue using more and more every day. So a message from Bruized is all in all to just be more conscious about how you use your food at home, how much waste you're creating from your daily activity, and yeah, just be more mindful about that and acknowledge that everything we do has an impact, but also to know that, you know, perfection isn't something we should strive towards, and it's all about making those small changes on a day-to-day basis, creating less waste, creating less food waste, and yeah, gradually improving every day.